Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Ninja Ranch here on YouTube. I am the Ninja Cowboy, and we are picking up where we left off. Here we are in episode 6 of our No Perk Noita walkthrough, and we are currently in the Holy Mountain between the jungle and the vault, the 5th and 6th biome in the main Noita world. We are obviously, as you can see, taking no perks. We've got no perks over here, and things were going a little rough until I'm sorry about that, Bubba's. Until we reached the Hisi base, where we went to the Hourglass Room, and if you were not familiar with that, you can go back to episode 4 of the Hisi base and check out the run there. We went to the Hourglass Room and got ourselves a Phi, which makes our black hole wand unlimited, which is really, really nice. I'm just going to add that light shot on there. And then we did some searching through the jungle, found ourselves a nice little mana. So that really was a game changer in episode 5 there, going through the jungle. We went and took out the dragon, did the little freezing and kicking them and taking them out. If you want to see that, you could obviously go back and check out the episode 5 of the jungle. These episodes are actually fairly quick, only 45 minutes to an hour long. And I try my best to kind of take care of what needs to be taken care of in each level, and if there's a little tip or trick that I can show you, I like to do that. But this is mainly just a walkthrough of how I personally like to go about my approach on each level and what I do to win consistently. If you are just joining us for the first time, I am Ninja Cowboy. I do stream live on twitch.tv/Ninja Cowboy every day, Monday through Saturday, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, USA, Colorado. And one of the things that we focus on with our stream, with our content, with Noita, is win streaks and just winning in general. We've got a 29% win rate with our deaths to wins ratio, including some speedrunning shenanigans, but whatever, that's part of it. But yeah, we got a 29% win rate in our end of game screen, right around 100 wins to 400 deaths, and we just want to focus on consistency and what is important to win. And I was asked several different times, said, hey, Ninja Cowboy, you ever thought about making a YouTube video on how you do what you do? And I thought, I haven't. Isn't there already YouTube videos on for this? And they said, yeah, but we, some of us like your play style better than others, and everybody's got a different play style. And so I thought I would do a walkthrough video for you guys, but to make things a little more, I guess, educational, is that everybody's perks are different in their run. And so I decided that, just to make it more level of a playing field for my walkthrough and explanations of everything, is to just not take any perks, so that I can show you how to win without relying on this part of the Holy Mountain. Obviously, we have a lot more money because we're not wasting money on rerolls. So we can buy pretty much anything that we want. Which brings me to this wand here. I'm not really interested in the Matter Eater or the Reduced Spread or the Light or the Magic Bolts, but that sweet little short-range homing is what I'm excited about. So we've been running just a machine gun style freezing damage field triplicate bolt wand. And when we found, this is actually an always cast downwards LARPA, so it shoots the spells downward as well. It was pretty cool. But we did find the mana in the jungle in episode 5, and that made it to where we can infinitely cast this wand, and is a huge help. And so now I'm going to snag this short range homing and see what I need to take off, because that obviously blows through the mana there. So we might have to remove this damage field in replace of the short range homing. The freezing is a little obnoxious. Let's see if we can get away with just one chainsaw. We can get away with one chainsaw if we swap the damage orb with the freezing. We can almost get it. We can almost get it. What about just the 1 mana? Nope. So, is keeping that other chainsaw on there okay? I think we will maybe removing the crit on blood. That looks pretty good. Crit on oil I really like for going through the vault, because there's so many enemies in there that have oil blood, and so I think maybe we can, let's see what it looks like with the freezing on there. Yeah, it does run out. This damage orb has been damage field has been really helpful. So we're gonna start with this and see what it does. And if we need to come back and make some adjustments, we can always come back and make some adjustments. But I like what we're looking at here. This is we got a healing bolt if we need to heal, which might not be a terrible idea just to top off our health here. Let's throw a little triple cast on there and do the teleport into healing bolt. Actually, throwing a piercing on there, if you did something like this and you put piercing before the healing bolt, it makes the healing bolt linger longer, and you can actually get a lot more heals out of it. So I am going to just keep this in my inventory for now, and just so that we can heal as we go through this area if something happens that we're not stoked about. But we got light shot, we've got the short range homing, the sped up black holes. We're looking really, really good. So again, the vault is a little bit of a tricky area, but I don't mind going to the right side first and then making my way down. There is a fungal area over there that can get a little bit interesting. But it does look like we need a little bit more damage, because we're not taking out we're only doing significant damage to the robots, which and why I'm gathering this money. We really don't even need that much money, but the short range homing really helps with dealing with the little bouncing booger guys. But oh shoot, see, we've got ourselves a teleporting guy that could really cause some trouble. Whew! That made me jump a little bit. I was stuck on glue. We got a teleporting guy over here. See if we can take care of this guy away from everybody else. It's kind of annoying, but man, that made me jump a little bit there, not knowing where I'm going. The crit on blood actually wouldn't be a bad idea to have here, but okay. I think we're doing enough damage to survive here. But yeah, again, I'm going to take myself... Actually, let's take care of this electricity character here. And some pre-firing is usually pretty good for this area, especially when you got some short-range homing now. Gives you an idea of where enemies are. The light is really helpful when you don't have any all-seeing eye. We've got some increased speed up here, which could be cool for our black hole, but we don't need it. Looks like our game's thinking a little bit here. Little bit of chugging. But it's really nice to be able to take out those elite robots that do really savage melee damage. If they're not handled properly. So the crit on oil was a really nice find. And when I see a crit on oil, I think the vault. I'm gonna need that for the vault. So I'm happy with the way things are going here. I'm gonna try to clear a significant amount here in the vault, but one of the ways I survive is by not spending too much time here in the vault. It's a very dangerous place. An Uko can just stun lock you, and you're gonna have a bad time. So let's see if we can mix this up so we don't get toxified. But yeah, a lightning Uko guy can really screw your day up in this biome. We don't have any fire immunity, any immunities whatsoever. So I just like to scatter a little bit of water around to get rid of that toxicity down there, and just slowly make my way through this environment, because it can get really hectic really fast. Just like I said, those robot guys are no fun. We are on fire. Nothing to panic about. We do have a healing bolt with piercing. So let's try to gather our bearings here. Because like I said, this is where the game gets really savage. I'm not too worried about money. I don't want to get too excited about seeing money everywhere. We just want to survive, and that is the whole key. Just kind of looking at some wands, see if we can find something like maybe another mana, or just a damage plus. A damage plus would be really nice. We do not have any electricity immunity, so we have to be very careful not to get stunned by that guy as well. Maybe gather a little bit of money while we're here. Looks like that might have just been a water flask there. But we're gonna do quite a bit of clearing here in this biome. We don't have any electricity immunity, so taking out the lamps is pretty helpful. Giving myself a little place to stand, you know, just slicing off a little piece of metal is always nice to have a little spot to stand on. But this place can get really crazy. But I'm going to do my best to do a full clear for you guys of the vault. I'm not going to go up into the Lukey lair, because you can get to the Lukey lair from the vault or from the jungle, both. But I just want to clear like this main section in the middle so that our bases are covered all the way around. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy everything that I'm doing here, and giving you an idea of what to look out for while in the vault. If I can find the secret, I will. I'll show out. If you get stuck, the freezing with the black holes is a little tricky from time to time. But you could just black hole again and get out of it. There is a puzzle on this level, and it actually would be cool if I could find it for you guys and solve it. Just to show you how to do it, but also the reward from this puzzle here in the vault is really cool. So we're just gonna kind of take it slow, not rush things too quickly here, and see. Looks like we got ourselves another shop. If this was oil, I would have loved for it to be oil, but it's not. If you have something like crit on oil and you put a oil material on the wand, there's kind of a synergy where it will always do a crit on all enemies, because the oil material somehow travels with the projectiles and does 100% crit chance on all enemies, which is pretty cool. It's a cool little tip, per se. But we're just gonna top off our water flask here. My water's getting a little bit little low. We don't have any sort of immunities, so water is our best friend here on this level. We also have a medic there that we could possibly keep alive and use the last little bit of pheromone that we have just to heal, instead of using our healing bolt if we don't have to. So here we are to the Lukey lair. I don't want to spend too much time over on that side because I actually don't have anything to... Well, I have freezing. You can essentially freeze them and then kick them, but it actually takes like a couple kicks to kill the Lukey. So the toothy spider. So I don't really want to spend too much time over on this side because I don't want to aggro one of those toothies when I don't have what it takes to take them out. So see, we are at the wall here. I don't want to go any farther over if I don't have to. It looks like we do have a heart container there. Oh wait, he's shooting at me. Dang it, that was a medic. That's okay. That's okay. Take out these little bouncing booger guys. The electricity. Every threat that I can see, we want to remove. Again, we have the teleporting guy. Very annoying. We've got a Uko down there. See, that could have been really bad. But we got lucky. So the homing is a double-edged sword, I'm starting to learn here, when I don't have any immunities. Because that short-range homing just keeps sailing and can get ourselves into trouble. But this is kind of the level of wand you want to have going into this area. You want to be able to have a wand that's powerful like this going into this area. This is really where the game turns to no joke. The vault is, I would say, considered close to the most difficult biome in the game. with the variety of threats that it has. Let's see what kind of flask that is over there. The variety of threats in this biome. Oh, it's an eyeball. I'm actually gonna snag that. Because there is a platform on this level where you're supposed to, I believe, consume some mysterious fungus. For something. I actually personally haven't done it yet, but so we are at our wall, so I feel fairly safe on my 6 or behind me. Let's see if we can just top off our water with a little bit of blood here, and just proceed with caution here. Try to do a full clear on this for you guys, but I like doing a little bit of a up and down move here, and just slowly eliminating all threats. This looks like we had a heart container here. Yeah, there's no electricity going through this one, so we actually got lucky, but you can black hole those electrical boxes and it'll blow them up, which is a good, nice little strat for getting into those areas that has all the electricity pulsing through that metal. Looks like we have another medic here, who I might, if he'll stop moving, try to pheromone with the last little bit of pheromone I have. Little punk. There we go. And just heal up the last little bit that we can with this pheromone flask. Let's just get rid of that because it's almost empty, and it takes quite a bit of, seems like it takes quite a bit of pheromone to get them to say that they love you. We'll just take care of him so he doesn't heal any enemies. And now it is simply just up to us and our healing bolt. That guy seems to be stuck there, but we can fix that for him. He was in timeout for some reason, but nobody likes to be in timeout. But yeah, I'm just going to kind of do the up and down method here. Clearing everything. This looks like an acid vat. Like, we can get rid of that. I don't want to jump into that guy. I've definitely been shot by an Uko or shot by an enemy or just lost my levitation, and boom, I fall right down into an acid vat. So lube up a little bit before we head up this way. Gotta stay moist. And yeah, looks like we might have a, nope. Sometimes there's like a brain, kind of a brain looking, I guess it just looks like a brain inside that pink glass, and there's usually like a chest or a heart container in the center of the meat of the brain. So that's always nice to find, a little extra heart container. There's an Uko that we need to eliminate, and almost didn't. Almost paid the consequence, paid the price there for not shooting enough. But I want to see if I can find the puzzle on this floor. That'd be really cool if we did find it. It's not always here, I don't think. But if we can find it, ow, that'd be really dope. Again, strong levitation is so invaluable in this game, or being able to levitate longer is just such a nice perk, and that's why when I see Gas Blood is one of my favorite perks in the game now, because it gives you immunity to toxic, which is decent, but it also gives you stronger levitation, and it also, if it's the last kind of blood perk that you've taken, it makes it to where you only bleed gas. And when you only bleed gas, you don't get a stain on you when you bleed. So it's actually really cool to not get stained, especially when you have something like stainless armor, where you take less damage when you have no stains. Let's take care of that. Take care of this lamp. They actually do a lot of damage, that electricity from those lamps. It's pretty ridiculous. But it's looking like we've cleared quite a bit of the vault. But never underestimate this place. Around every corner there's always some kind of threat. Looks like we've got something down here that our shots were going after. But yeah, never underestimate this place. Ever, ever, ever. You got a lot of runs that are going really good, and you're just like, man, I'm feeling good. And you get cocky, and you get moving too fast, and you just wind up in a pickle. And this place can just end your Noita run in a matter of seconds if you aren't careful. Again, fire immunity is one of my favorite perks. Oil blood is also amazing, but I really see how we got stun locked from this guy, and we just dropped down. That could have been bad, dropping down too fast there. Yeah, fire immunity for starters, and then oil blood after that. Both are very, very good, but I do like just straight up fire immunity better than oil blood. Simply when you get to, traveling to parallel universes, or trying to get through Cursed Rock, when you bleed a lot when you take damage, it can be somewhat of an inconvenience. Doesn't look like there's... Oh, that was looks like a polymorph flask in here. That's kind of scary. But let's make our way up, see what we can find. I don't usually do a full vault clear. Usually I just like to kind of cruise straight down. What is this liquid? Looks like worm pheromone. Probably from up in our holy mountain there that we got with the pacifist chest. Concentrated mana is really nice because it can melt through metal if you don't have any sort of spell like luminous drill or black holes or whatever. But it also eats your gold, which is pretty annoying from time to time. That is kind of a crazy wand. Water to poison. No thanks. But it looks like we've been over here. And I'm not seeing our cool little puzzle that I like. I've actually only solved it once, but it's really simple once you figure out what to do. But it can be tedious because there's certain requirements for it, and it's not the same every run. But I want to see if I can find it so I can do it for us. But I think it's typically on the left, the western side of the biome, so I'm not seeing it. But that's okay. Those mages are pretty scary. I always feel more confident with ambrosia because if you do get shot with one of those purple orbs and you go invisible, just switch to your ambrosia and just pour that stuff all over you and wait for the blindness to go away. Looks like we've got ourselves an elite over here trying to mess with us. But this has been a pretty cool always cast wand that we found. I do like the light because you can kind of shoot into the ground and see if there's anything hidden in the walls or something hidden on another part of the, you know, hidden one in the next little area above you or below you. Actually, the light's really helpful in the snowy depths because there's usually a lot of stuff hidden in the snow that the game's trying to hide. Let's see what's on this guy. Bunch of digging bolts with, or explosive digging bolts. Those are nice early on, but not really helpful to us here. Looks like this was a chest with some acceleratium, I think that is. But yeah, one thing you don't want to do is just drop down too fast in this biome, because there is a lot of enemies in this area. Also, shooting this always cast larpa, downwards larpa, is not a good idea to shoot around this explosive gas tank. Liquid nitrogen gas tank. Now these cowards are pretty cool for farming money. If you're trying to come up with some money, you can just kind of keep at a distance from them and just farm the money from the enemies that he shoots. But I like to kill him as soon as possible because he can just shoot an Uko right into your face, and then the Uko hits you with a lightning ball, and then you're stun locked because you can't move, and you die to explosive and electricity damage. Not a good time. Not a good time. But this is definitely the level of wand that you want to have for going into this area. Anything less than this is going to make your life a little tough. It's going to make your life a little tough. So, perfect example is it shows that it pays. Oh, look, it's our ghost. Our ghost from the past. I wonder where he came from. And see what is on that wand. Just magic arrows. No, thank you. Thank you for the gold, my friend. That was the ghost from the past. Where if you play with no mods, you'll usually see that character just about every single run. And that ghost, she usually is equipped with a wand that you had on a run where you died. I don't believe she has wands on runs that you've lived. There's kind of like a wand bank that just stores the builds of these wands from the past. And pulls from that when they spawn the sprite, spawn that character. But early game, it's really scary to see that enemy, to see the ghosts from the past, because they're really hard. They're really tanky. If you have ambrosia, you can just put some ambrosia on you and just kind of face tank the damage. And then, but if you don't, I like to carry a tablet with me for a while until I realize that there's no threat to those ghosts. Because a tablet, you can just throw a tablet and the tablet will kill that enemy fairly quickly. I think usually in just one toss will just eliminate the ghosts from the past. I did see, so here we are in our little fungal area. Sometimes a heart container over in here, but it is also the fungals, so you got to be careful, because it is fungals is a dangerous place. There's polymorph, there's chaotic poly, and you could get polymorphed and just die in this area. But sometimes there's some pretty cool stuff on some wands here as well. So I don't typically always go here. I'll go here if I'm trying to find some fungus to do a shift, you know, late game. If I'm looking for a flask, if I need a flask for something, like if I found some a broken ambrosia flask somewhere and I want to fill that sucker up, there's usually flasks over here. But the fungals really isn't a place where you want to hang out too long. But yeah, this pink fungus, this weird fungus, you can eat, and you'll do what's called a trip, and you can trip and potentially change a substance in one of your flasks. If you're holding an ambrosia flask, you've got a chance of changing something to ambrosia or changing ambrosia into something. So it's sometimes fun to do some shifting runs, and perhaps we can dabble in that in another episode of just playing around with some fungi. Ow. Frickin' laser beam. I'm actually in a position where I want to heal. There we go, full health. That piercing healing bolt, it just makes the healing bolt just kind of live a little longer and not just dissipate immediately. I don't know where I learned that at, but I learned that from my stream, from my channel. You know, if you don't get some information from this video and you enjoy learning different crazy stuff every day, you can come over to the Twitch channel and watch us live and hang out with my community there, and where we learn stuff pretty much daily. We learn something new. I did see that brain over here, so I'm gonna back nearby. It wasn't right here, but I saw that brain that I was mentioning earlier, and so I would like to show you that and what could potentially be inside the meat of that brain. But I mean, we're getting close to a full clear here on the vault. Oh, here's our brain right here. Okay, so we can just shoot a black hole, and there you have it. We've got ourselves a heart container just chilling in the brain. A healthy brain. Increased our max HP. Always nice. Always nice to get a little bit more health. There's another heart container. One of the things that's tough about, you know, you want to have a lot of HP going into a place like this, like the vault. But then when you get into an area like the Temple of the Art, well, what we're going to do in the next chapter, chapter 7, is it almost really doesn't matter how much health you have going into that area. Let's see, I think I might take this with me. No, I don't need to show you that. We'll do that another time when we do the Wizard's Den, Magic Temple Wizard's Den episode. And that'll be something that we do with perks. The Wizard's Den is actually a place where you almost only want to go. What is happening with that acid tank? The Wizard's Den is a place that you want to go when you are really powerful. It's not a place to go when you've just feel somewhat tough, somewhat cocky, as a somewhat cocky of a Noita. You want to be powerful. Repulsion fields, phasings, stainless, all that good stuff before going into the Wizard's Den. Because that place can just... We got another Uko here. There he is. You can just hear him. You can hear the electricity from him. And that's how you know there's an Uko. Probably one of the more nerve-wracking sounds in the game is just hearing the sound of Uko's electricity. The fire, those lava characters, they're not so bad, but the electricity Ukos, guys, those are frickin', they're the worst, man. They are the worst. But we've just got a lot of money. Not using money for perks is crazy. How much money you accumulate, and we haven't even been grabbing money because we know that we don't really need it. Really, it's when you get to a place like the Temple of the Art's shop, where things are, you know, the Holy Mountain after the Temple of the Art, before the final boss. Wands and individual spells for sale can be, you know, 10, 12,000 gold, but other than that, we haven't really found too much of a need for gold this run. Unless we found something like Gold to Power, which is a spell modifier where it uses your gold and adds damage. Takes 5%, I believe it's like 5% of your gold and adds it to damage. But what's that? I was just seeing if that was even a good wand. This thing's kind of bugged out. But I think that's pretty close to a full clear on the vault. I think we can make our way to the left a little bit down here on the bottom. But it didn't give us the puzzle I was looking for. That would have been cool to show you guys. But I did not see that. We'll have another look a little bit this way, but if I had something like All-Seeing Eye Perk and maybe melee immunity, I would have considered going to the Lukey lair, but that place is definitely not some place to go when you have no immunities. Stainless is a really nice perk to have when going to the Lukey lair. That ominous liquid, that purple poison stuff, just racks up the damage when you take damage from it. But I would say this has been a pretty good vault run. Episode 6. Our no perks playthrough, no perks Noita walkthrough on what I like to look for in a run. Definitely destroy those lamps. That electricity is just ridiculous how much damage it does. I mean, it's done like in the Hisi base, I think an electrical lamp has done like 200 and some damage to me or something. I've definitely... Oh, here's the platform I was thinking of earlier, where there's I think 3 or 4 of these platforms throughout the world, and it tells you to consume. I believe the first one's in the fungal caves, in the second biome, west of the coal pits there. And we went through the fungals earlier in episode 2 and did a full clear. But you just take this little eyeball here, and it says consume mushrooms. And you just get yourself some mystery fungus, or just I believe it's the mystery fungus. I don't know, but I haven't done this yet. But there's like the pink fungus that you can eat to trip, but then there's also like the glittery gold, kind of rainbowy gold color fungus that I think that's what you're supposed to eat on that particular platform. And I'm not sure what the unlock is, but we will find that out in the future with one of our runs, either on YouTube or on Twitch. But man, this has been a pretty solid vault. We did leave the full heart in the top of the vault and in the top of the jungle. It is only 10 HP, so it's not like a significant amount of HP. But that I would say is a pretty good run here for episode 6. We do have to take out Scuba Scott here. With just our regular old damage. I don't think he's too happy. He probably wishes he had gas blood so he didn't just leak bone dust everywhere and get in his way, but you know, that's how we learn in Noita. One run at a time. He's like, man, next run, if I see me some gas blood, I'm gonna take that gas blood perk before that Noita takes it, if he's in that holy mountain, because all this bone dust really got in his way. But yeah, those are 2 really good perks. Explosion immunity with the exploding corpses. The explosion, you get explosion immunity with this. This has been a recent change in the past few updates, but getting explosion immunity with this is one of my top favorite perks. Is exploding corpses. The only downside to it is that the exploding corpses do create fire, so they can't ignite you. And so you don't take the explosion damage, but you do catch the tedious fire from time to time. But I do love this perk. And then Repelling Cape, I really only like to take this perk if I have fire immunity, because it does remove the wetness from you also, and allows you to catch on fire a lot easier. So having fire immunity before taking really repelling cape as well is definitely a go-to. But we got a regular homing shot. We've got a venomous curse there. And we got another healing bolt. So I am excited about. We're gonna swap out the. I think we're gonna swap out the crit on oil with the venomous curse, so that the enemies are taking damage from the damage field and from the tick damage from the venomous curse. But that's going to do it for this episode, guys. I really do appreciate you hanging out with me during this episode 6, No Perk Noita walkthrough, The Vault. If you enjoyed the content, please hit that subscribe button down below the video. If you want to catch me live, you can find me live at twitch.tv/Ninja Cowboy. I am the one and only Ninja Cowboy over there. And it really feels good to be a Ninja Cowboy. I've got a great community. We've got a Discord. All that information is down below if you want to join our Discord as well and get involved with everything that we do outside of the streaming world. But I would say that was a pretty darn good vault clear. Typically, I don't clear the entire vault, but, you know, I just felt like doing that for you and kind of talking about everything that comes to my mind. But if I do feel strong enough, I usually just like to make my way through the vault pretty quickly. There really isn't anything in the vault that I really search for, except for what I find kind of on the way down. I don't like to spend too much time in the vault, even when I do have a lot of immunities. It's just a very, very dangerous place. And if you can casually just make your way down from the top to the bottom and hop into that portal and get out of the vault, you're going to have a much better day. Especially if you have a run going that you're feeling really confident in. You know, you can always go back to the vault after killing the boss and clearing that and whatnot. There's always ways of doing that. But again, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me through this. And I will see you guys in the next episode, episode 7, the Temple of the Art, No Perk Noita walkthrough. I hope you guys learned something here or enjoyed the content. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very, very much.